Alright, so what is the most likely cause of a plane crash in the United States? Alright, so after the recent plane crash in the Potomac River in DC, I was thinking about like what's the more likely cause that like why are these plane crashing or why are these plane crashing? My hypothesis is that at least 75% of the planes that crash in the United States are caused by pilot and crew error. Yeah. Alright, so I filtered, so the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, has a website called the CARO, where you can search up like all the accidents and stuff that like happened that they have reports on. So I searched that up and I filtered by I filtered for larger aircraft because there were like, I think there were like 30,000 like small like planes that crashed in the United States. So I filtered it down to like 150 crashes because that's just way too much data. So I filtered by planes with two turbofan engines, which aren't normally privately owned. They're mostly in like larger aircraft, like passenger planes and stuff. And so I out of the 150 crashes that were filtered, unfortunately some of them didn't have any data, so I only had like 143. Alright, so here's my graph. Shows 110 for pilot and crew error, 23 for malfunctions, 7 it was like there could have been multiple different reasons, but there wasn't like a specific reason. And then 2 of them were hijacking, and one of them crashed into an elk, like when it was taking off. So yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone survived though, so it's okay. Alright, so there's some notable crashes in my data. So we got Air Florida Flight 90. This one, yeah, if this is sensitive information, so you guys need to leave for a second. I gave you permission, so. So this was caused, I mean, there were like, this was like it was in DC, right? It was called Washington National Airport. There was like a bunch of delays because of snow and stuff, and the pilots really wanted to take off because they were getting like, I don't know, they wanted to go because they were already like almost an hour late. So they didn't de-ice the plane, which is like really important because, I mean, ice can like really inhibit like the aerodynamics of a plane. So they just rushed through and took off without de-icing. And there was just ice like on the wings, which caused it to only reach an altitude of 300 feet before it crashed into a bridge and fell into the river. There were 74 fatalities, and 4 fatalities in the cars that were on the bridge. Yeah. Alright. Alaska Airlines Flight 261. This was a malfunction. There was a problem with the jack screw, which like moves the plane up and down. It got stuck, and then when it got unstuck, it just sent the plane into a nosedive. And they recovered, but then the jack screw just like broke completely again, and they just went right into the ocean. And unfortunately, 88 people died. And yeah, then the next 2 are probably the most notable plane crashes. American Airlines Flight 11 that crashed into the North Tower. It was hijacked by 5 Al-Qaeda terrorists. And there were 92 fatalities in the aircraft and 1,600 on the ground and in the tower. And then next, United Airlines Flight 175. It's the plane that hit the South Tower. Yeah, again hijacked by five different Al-Qaeda terrorists, and 65 fatalities in the aircraft, and 900 in the South Tower and like around. And last one, American Airlines Flight 587. So this was caused by pilot error. The first officer moved like the rudder way too fast, and it caused like a major part of the plane to fall off into the ocean, which you can see here. So the plane entered a spin and it crashed into a neighborhood. Unfortunately, 260 people died inside the aircraft and 5 people in the neighborhood that it crashed into. Alright, so just another look at my data with all the percentages. So 77% pilot / crew error, 16% malfunction, 5% undetermined reason, 1.3% hijacking, and 0.7% elk. So here's my Z-test. Got 0.55 for the Z-score. Here's the one prop Z-test. Here's my chart, where you see the 95% goes 1.65, or yeah. But it does not fall, 0.55 does not fall into the rejection region. So, okay, so this is my confidence interval, and it doesn't pass through 0, so it's not statistically significant. And that's my conclusion. Even though it is higher than 0.77, it doesn't fall into the rejection region, so we fail to reject the null hypothesis. And then here's my references. Yeah.